Okay.
What was your path to accomplishing your study, and like what specific training did you had to do for being a psychiatrist?
After you graduate from medical school, they will become a specialist. In medical field, there are so many specialties that you can like medical, surgical, lots of them. Psychiatry is one of the specialty. So if you want to become a psychiatrist, you go on to the special training in psychiatry for 3 more years for general psychiatry.
เรียนจบมาจากการเป็นหมอก็คือ6 ปีก็จะเรียนต่อแพทย์เฉพาะทางใช่ไหมครับ
เฉพาะทางโอเค specialty เฉพาะทาง
Could I ask, like, in medical school, what did you mostly do in medical school before you went to like the psychiatry in like a special path there?
Medical school, it have a curriculum for 6 years. You have to finish this 6 years training. You will have a pre-medical, and you could go on to seeing patients in practice for another 4 years. There you go take turn to many departments like medical department, surgical department, many specialty to see, to train you that you can treat general people for their mind problem in many areas. Like you have red eyes, general doctor can help that. But if you have very specific problem with eye, you have to go to the ophthalmologist, the specialty, the specialist who expert in eye problem. So in medical school, it train you. You can go into the outskirt area, like in the provinces, to help common problems, common illness, but not very complicated illness.
So like speaking of like the general field, what inspired you to like delve deeper into psychiatry and commit to this field?
Oh, this is a long story. I didn't intend to become a psychiatrist in the first place.
Oh.
But I've been to the States, and my husband is an engineer, and he want to study doctorate degree. We have to fight to fit in the same town, same city. At that time, you have to imagine 50, 60 years ago, psychiatry is not a very favorite one. So I intended, like many doctor, I going to become a medical doctor or pediatricians. But I cannot find that two specialty in the same town with my husband. So I decided to go to the third choice, psychiatry, which become that I was really lucky, because in this field I become growth in my mental health, so I can become happy very easily than in other medical field. I think for me. Yes.
Sure. And like, do you have any advice that you could give to like students who are pursuing the medical field or in the psychiatry field, but they're not actually sure if they're actually passionate about the medical field thing?
I think they have to see if what they like, what they like during the medical student life. The medical student have to go past rotation, we call rotation, in many departments already. So usually they have ideas what they like or they did not like. Like I'm very sure I cannot become a surgeon because I cannot. I don't like to cover my face, putting on gloves and putting many, sterilize myself and standing by the operating table for many hours. I cannot do that. So people usually know what they don't like. Usually people will know what they don't like, but what they like, it might take some time to know. So you exclude. So you exclude what you don't like, right?
Yes.
First, like when you do in the exam, you exclude one that is not correct.
Yes. So after the process of elimination, like cutting down and narrowing it down to the things that you like, how would you what advice would you give for those who are trying to discover their passion?
I don't think I have passion.
Oh.
You don't have to have only one passion, right?
Yeah.
Like I told you, I decide to my third choice, so I can be as a family in the same town. No? So I decide to go to my third choice. I don't have to fix to the first and second choice. I think it's what you call โชคชะตา. What's the English for โชคชะตา? บุญ.
Destiny and fate.
I think it's my luckiness to help me to get this chance to the third choice. In Thai we say บุญวาสนา.
So you were destined in some ways. Okay.
My good deed in the past life
Good.
helped me to go to the third choice instead of the first and second choice, which is much better for me. I am much happier by this way.
So even after you earned your degree and went to the United States, you are still sure that you wanted to be a psychiatrist. Like, what made you really commit to this job?
When I got into the training, I find that it's very interesting. It for our mind, for our psychological health, which is at least equally important to the physical health. When you don't have a healthy mind, it will cause you have a unhealthy physical health too. So it's at least equally important. But in Thai culture, you will find that psychology or the mind is more important than the physical part too. Because the mind is the leader, right? The commander over our physical health. Like in Thai, we say ใจเป็นนายกายเป็นบ่าว.
Like, what skills did you also have to like use and to learn to become a professional psychiatrist?
What I have to learn?
Yeah, and some skills that you learned.
It's one of the specialties, so you have to go into the training for 3 years.
Like, what exactly did they teach you during like the training? Like, what did they teach you in training? Do you just
many
go
things.
help people?
You have to train like skills and theory. Every specialty there are two parts, like theoretical part and practical part. You have to train into these two areas. Your knowledge have to be good, and you have to have good skill to help people. If you don't have good knowledge, you cannot help people too. If you have knowledge but you don't have skill to deliver your knowledge, you cannot help anyway. So you have to have two parts, theoretical part and practical part, right? Also the skillful part. Okay.
And do you think that being a psychiatrist, does it affect your mental health as well, listening to other people's stories?
No, during the training process, they will train us to separate your problem and my problem. Just like the physical part, when you go to see the infected patient, you don't let the infection get to you, right? Like the tuberculosis patients, no?
Yes.
You have to cover your mask very well. You have to put on gloves like that. Mental health also, you have to separate that what are you listening is not your problem. It's their problem. But we are here to help them, not going into their problem. Or we have the special word that we can empathize with you, but I don't sympathize with you. If I sympathize with you, you cry, I cry with you, okay? But if I empathize with you, I understand that you are feeling sad, but I'm not feeling sad, but I understand that you are feeling sad. But I don't feel sad with you, okay? Don't the same, it's not the same thing like you watching the movies.
Yes.
Or you go into the movie so you can enjoy the movie. But psychiatrists cannot do that, no? We have to maintain ourselves so we can help you. No? If you cry, I cry, so who will help?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What does being a pediatric psychiatrist entail? Like, what does the job involve you to do?
Children is in the process of developing themselves to be an adult. So the process of developing, we have different problems from the adult. No? So they have developmental problems. Like they cannot speak when they supposed to speak at 1 year of age. Or they cannot understand what people say. They have problem with understanding. Or they cannot sit still like people know now attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, until they cannot sit still in the school, so they cannot study. So the problem of children and adolescents are different from the older adult. Okay.
Being a psychiatrist, is there any negative parts about it?
Negative part, I don't experience, except that we got too many patients at one time. Make me tired. Like when we go where we have a fixed time to see outpatient, like we have 3 hours, we're supposed to see at the most 10 patients. But that they have 24 patients. Oh, wow. That's difficult, no? Yes. It makes me tired.
So like, if you were tired from so many patients, how would you tell like another psychiatrist, like what would you give them advice? How would you keep them away from stress?
Oh, they have been trained in their psychiatric training. They have to break themselves like for me, I would stand up, no? For a while and move myself before I sit down again because sit too long. Or we can tell them not to send the patient in for a while. We go back the outdoor, no? Back door. You go back to the back door, you go out to walk for a while or get something to drink. You have to break yourself at least 2 hours, I think.
How do you distribute your energy within like patients, right? So you need to have like a sufficient amount of energy to like dedicate to a patient, right? So how do you distribute?
Distribute?
Yeah, the amount of energy.
I don't know. I think it just depends on the patient who sit in front of you. Some are very difficult, some are not so difficult. Some are very easy. So we put energy up, depend on what kind of problems come in.
Yes.
So moving on to